one of the biggest things we're being asked lately on the Academy is mature skin and how to take care of it or how to work with it. So that's what we're going to do. Fran, who is 102, she looks amazing. No. So Fran is going to be our model. We're going to make her look gorgeous. Now, one of the biggest things when you're dealing with mature skin is making sure it's as supple as possible. So first thing you want to do is, moisturize it really well. I like to kind of work my moisturizer into my palms of my hands and then just kind of press it into the skin so you get it nice and moisturized. Then I'll kind of go back over it with just a little bit of a damp sponge. Work it into the skin because having the skin prepped is going to be so important.
We don't think about that.
No, we don't. And that's one of the things. Why does her skin look so good? Well, we moisturized, and moisturized. Yep. Especially up here in this weather and being in all that heated air. We're going to do a little bit of eye cream underneath. Look up. There we go. Because this is the area of your skin with the least moisture glands. Just let it soak in. Now I'm going to use a foundation primer. What a foundation primer does is it helps your foundation stay perfect. Now you're lucky.
All day.
Yes.
Kind of.
Yeah, it keeps it in place, kind of protects your skin from the foundation and foundation from the oils in your skin or your skin period. And it kind of minimizes fine lines.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. The foundation won't seep into them and draw attention to them.
Because I do think it causes little
Yeah, it can.
crevices and things.
Especially if you use the wrong consistency. Now you're lucky your skin's pretty even. You must have been a good girl, being 102 and looking this good. Now we're going to start to apply a little bit of foundation. Now, Fran, I do things a little differently. I'm going to foundation your forehead and conceal your eyelids and put all your eye makeup on before I put your foundation on the lower half of your face.
Really?
Yeah. That way I can moisturize underneath your eye again, get everything off that dripped, and everything stays perfect. Okay, so we're going to use a little bit of a whipped type cream consistency, which is really kind to your skin. With a high pigment to it, so it doesn't take a lot to get us the coverage we want.
I don't know, sometimes maybe I use too dark a foundation. We raised our family in California, so we were always tan. And it's hard to get used to.
How do you not looking tan?
Yeah.
Better too dark than too light.
Is that right?
Well, I think too light can make you look older.
Well, that's what
I'd rather you
thought.
walk around being a little darker than you're,
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
because you can always kind of blend her at the neck.
I'm glad to hear you say that because I thought, oh, that's probably a real no-no that I'm doing.
Well, it's not a yes, but it's certainly not the worst no-no in the world because you can blend it out.
I do try to blend it with one of those little sponges.
Yeah. Now I'm concealing your eyelid so that the eyeshadow work I do is going to look more flawless because I've got a fresh canvas. You know all about canvases. So it just gives me a blank canvas. There's no discoloration there.
Wow.
Now, if creasing is a problem for you, you could use a priming type product on your eyelid first. I'm going to prime it with.
Or the eyeshadow
Yes, that'll keep the
after
eyeshadow.
the rest of the day.
Yeah, you put it on before your shadow and before your concealer, and then it just helps everything stay. Still, I'm going to do a cream shadow, a little bit of it to help everything stay. Okay, so I'm just powdering a little bit, mainly your eyelids. I'm going to wait to decide where I want to strategically powder everything else later. Okay, now we're going to add some brows. God starts to get mean and take them from you. Mother Nature's not kind.
So
Little short feathery hair like strokes in the direction the hair grows, so then you're just mimicking brow hairs.
that's neat.
Then I'm going to go back over my pencil with my brush number 1 to blend it out. You always want to go back over pencil afterwards with a stiff angled brush to help blend out the color, make it look even more natural. Now I'm going to go back over the pencil with a brow powder to help set it even a little bit more for me. Whenever someone has silver gray hair, I prefer to do kind of a pale blonde brow versus a silver gray because it's just going to make you look older. On Ivory beige skin, and on bronze ebony, just a very neutral brown, light brown brow. Okay, now whenever we're dealing with skin that has any kind of texture to the skin, the more matte the shades are, the more flawless that will be. So I'm going to use all mattes for your shadow. I'm going to do a little bit of a matte cream just at the base of your lash line, right on your lid.
Oh, that's great because I've got those little bumps. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This is just going to kind of pop that a little bit more to give us a little more dimension.
No, I like my age. I just don't like how fast I got here.
I know, didn't it seem funny how suddenly your age, you're like, wait a second, I was 20 yesterday.
Inside you feel so much younger.
Okay, now I'm going to take a matte beige eyeshadow. I'm going to highlight just right over that matte cream and your brow bone. Now, I'm going to go ahead and curl your lashes and do my first layer of mascara. So I can see how much your eyes are going to get opened up with the curling. Okay, look down for me. Look down, open and look to there you go.
You know, I've been using that eyelash or that
Uh-huh.
lash until last summer. I kind of got lazy and didn't use it. So when I heard I was doing this, like, oh darn, because you know after a while they do go away. And I was so mad that I hadn't kept it up since I'm doing this today.
That's okay, I'll add a couple.
Because I do sort of need them. Sometimes I snip the little fake ones and put them in the corners.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep. Look down. There you go. Okay, I've done a layer of mascara on Fran. Now I really want to make sure our eyelashes stay curled and are as curled as possible because that's going to help open the eye up. So I'm going to go back with my heated eyelash curler. Yes, mine is loved immensely. I have it taped together. Open and look down, but it gets nice and warm. I'm just going to really get...
It feels good, actually.
Yeah, it really gets that curl in really well on those lashes because that really helps open the eye up. See how much more curled looks right in there, or there. See how much more curled that is? And yes, you can keep using, I'm gonna do it right here by your face, Fran, just so I know I'm in camera. You can keep using it as long as it lights up and it warms up because I tape them together for a long time if they still get hot. Okay, now I'm gonna start my shadow, or finish my shadow. Now my goal here is to get all this fleshiness away from us so that when we look at Fran, we don't see that, we see her eyes.
Good.
And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a mid-tone, which is a matte taupe. Look down. And I'm going to start to put that matte taupe on all that fleshiness. By deepening it with a matte taupe, it's going to start to push it away from us. So it just disappears.
Fabulous.
Now we're not putting it on the area that we highlighted, that little part of the lid, because that we want to keep bright and light. I'm using my brush number 11 and really going over all of that fullness. And you can see how it's starting to open the eye up. It's starting to make your eye color pop. Now you have to really completely look at me, yeah, with the eyes open so you make sure that you got the color everywhere you need it, because your lid, when it's open, is so different than when it's closed.
Really?
Yeah, and you'll see, like, when you're looking in a mirror, like if you were to hold a mirror like right here, and you were to look down into the mirror, you're going to see where there's a line right across there. That part is still your lid, and it still shows as your lid. And then above that, we want it to go away. So we lightened the part below that crease, and we're deepening the part above the crease. Now we're going to take number 30 brush, a little mid-tone. We're going to just do it in the outer corner. Start to deepen that. And actually, rather than looking straight ahead in a mirror when you do your makeup, it would probably be easy if you looked into a mirror this way, because it puts your lid in another position where you can get at everything.
Wow. Would you ever think to do that?
Yeah, it's because usually you're just so used to doing it like this and sometimes like that. Whereas if you just look down into it, it puts it right at the right spot for you to do. Your lid's everywhere. Yeah. You can see the creases in your lid where it's going to go away, where color needs to be. Once again, I'm using all matte shades so we don't accentuate skin texture. Now I'm going to push, instead of doing a dramatic line, but I want some definition, I'm going to use my number 41 brush. Look down for me. And I'm going to open and look down. Now, there you go. And I'm going to push some color right at the base of your lashes where they grow out of your lid. And what that does is it creates definition, but it doesn't give us a harsh line. And then we get that nice pop, and it makes your lashes look really thick. Look down. Okay, now I'm going to take number 30 brush again, just a nice little matte brown, because your eyes are blue, and I want to make the blue look bluer, and use it in the outer corner.
But that's nice.
Yeah, I find many women as they age tend to go to like very frosty, cool colors because they think they need to for their hair.
Well, I think that is true. I think I've done the very same thing.
You're an artist, Fran.
Well, actually, the fact that I'm a winter, the coloring, it's made me go to like the charcoals and
But you're not even a winter anymore.
I'm a vibrant summer, aren't I?
Yeah. Well, I don't believe in the seasons, and no, because it's so kind of antiquated, in the sense of what really works there's not always a set, and if you really read the book, there's subsections or subcolor sections, so everyone can wear every color. They just can wear a version of the color, which I think is kind of the truth. So I think we get so caught up in, okay, this is only what we can wear, and so you start doing, which even if that's what you wear on your body, it's not what you wear on your face.
And so I'm applying it to the face.
Yeah. And so that's fighting against your blue eyes, and you're losing some of your blue. Fran, we've just changed your world. Okay, now I'm going to clean out underneath your eyes with some eye cream, and this does two things. It cleans all the shadow off that we've dripped, and it re-moisturizes that area, so it gives us another layer of moisture. So it's twofold in helping us. Because like I said, it's the area of your face with the least moisture glands.
Do you think the dark circles are from allergies? Sometimes, you know, you get that little dark, or lack of sleep. Have you?
I think that they're usually hereditary. I think lack of sleep can increase them. Allergies can increase them. There's a couple schools of thought. One is that it's bruising, so it's blood, so vitamin K will help it. But yes, I think that externally things that happen can definitely increase their visibility. Okay, now I'm going to do a little bit of foundation all over the face now. I'm going to even out the skin. Just give us a nice even complexion, because they've done studies, and wrinkles are not what make us appear older. In the studies, it was uneven skin tone.
Really?
Yeah, that's what makes people perceive us as looking older. I mean, wrinkles do as well, but uneven skin tone is the first kind of hint or clue.
That is a new thought.
That's why even the littlest bit of an evening out of your skin can make a big difference in making you look more youthful. Okay, now, since you have very specific dark areas underneath your eye, I'm going to use concealer and a brush. I'm using my number 53, and I'm going to apply concealer directly to that darkness. You want to remember to color in the lines when you're concealing. You don't want to just put it over a whole general area, because you won't conceal anything away, because you're light in skin that's already the right color. You're back to 2 shades of skin, so you apply it just to where you're dark.
It's just kind of like a a little moon shape.
Yeah,
And
it's kind
so
of like
you stay right.
just right on that darkness.
Okay.
Because if I pull the concealer out of that area, I'm going to lighten skin that's already the right color.
Oh, of course.
So then you still have multiple shades of skin. Then we're going to go over that with a little bit of foundation. You know what? I'm going to use my foundation brush so it's more specific. And get it more specifically applied. And now whenever you put your foundation over your concealer, you're going to stipple, which is a patting motion. It's not wipe off your concealer. Now, anytime you have a cream or a liquid, you have to set it. But with that said, in your case, we don't want too much powder or too heavy of a powder on your skin. So I'm going to do what I call finger powdering the area underneath your eye. Before I do that, I want to get a little bit more concealer, because out in the outer corners of your eyes, you've got a little bit of darkness. Do you tend to water? I can tell by a little bit of discoloration in the outer corner. Have you ever asked the doctor about why you might water? Because you may have dry eyes.
Actually, I lived in Russia for 18 months, and my eyes watered a lot there. And that's where it began about 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh.
But when I came back home, it's practically cleared up. So
it's just
I think
discoloration that's there for now.
I think it's temporary. I hope so.
Well, it's very, very minute.
And when I saw it improve, then I didn't
Worry about it. Yeah. Okay, so to finger powder, I'm going to take powder. I'm going to get it on my finger. Get the excess off of my, come on my hands. Look up for me. And I'm just going to lightly powder that area. This way you get the minimalist amount on there.
I can see how this could stay all day, your makeup, instead of
Going away.
and touching it up, you
Yeah.
know, midday.
Okay, now let's finish your eyes. And I'm going to just get a little bit of my mid-tone. Gotta find the brush. Take a little bit of my mid-tone, look up for me, and just go right at the lash line with it. Once again, everything's matte.
Is that number 13 brush?
Yes, using my number 13 brush.
Actually, we have to watch out for the fads because sometimes, you know, the glitter comes in.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the shine. And
We're always attracted to shine.
Mhm.
Sparkly's always
so we
pretty.
Run right out.
Yep. Okay, now I'm going to do another layer of mascara. And now I'm going to do a little bit of bottom. Look up. Now I am using waterproof,
Mm-hmm.
just because you're more likely to water and run. Yeah. Unfortunately, when you get in your 40s like you are,
Thank you.
because that's how you look now.
Oh, double thank you.
Just taking a Q-tip because I didn't wipe enough mascara off of the wand. It got a little clumpy.
That's a great trick to know.
Yeah. You can just take a dry Q-tip. Okay, now I'm going to lightly powder just to set. We don't want a lot, just a little bit. Now I'm going to do a tiny bit of a cream blush. And a nice, smile for me, corally peachy color on the apples of your cheeks. So it starts to give a glow.
I'm sorry, did you say what brush that was?
Using my brush number 64.
I'm so glad to know how to do rouge.
Has it been the bane of your existence?
Well, I'm never quite sure exactly where I'm supposed to
Well,
put it.
when you're using a cream, it's going to be on the apples of your cheeks. And I'm just doing a little bit of a cream because I think it's a little glowier and it's going to make your skin look a little fresher without being shiny. I'm going to powder back over it just to set it. Now I'm going to do a little bit of bronzer. And when you really apply rouge, it's mainly on your cheekbone, okay? Now I'm going to do a little bit of bronzer towards the back.
Because there was a time that they
Yeah,
did
back in the
this.
80s where they did
So
like
that
in the
was
sunk in, yeah.
Mhm.
Use your
No,
cheekbone.
I haven't
Yeah.
done that for a
Yeah.
long time.
So we're just going to use our cheekbone, give it a little bit of color, because one of the things too we lose as we age is colored tone to our skin, which is probably why one of the things you feel like you don't look as tan is part of it's just you've lost some of that as you've aged. So a little bit of bronzer will always give us that kind of like glowiness back.
So this is a bronze as
Yes.
opposed to a rouge.
This is a bronze first, yes, and it's a matte shade so that we don't accentuate skin texture. And I like one that doesn't have a lot of orange in it. Now I'm going to use this same brush number 73. And I'm going to take a powder, which just gives your skin a really pretty glow, which is kind of all we want from it. We want to add tone back to your skin, but tone that looks natural. And some of that could be why you're trying to go for a darker foundation, whereas if you used a bronzer and a little
would
more
get the
colorful
same
blush,
effect that-
you would get the same effect without it being a different color than your skin. And you're probably choosing more neutrally looking blush shades, and I chose a bright coral.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really sheer, so it didn't go on like heavy.
So neat, too.
Okay, now lips. Now since your lip line is not as strong as it once was, let me re-moisturize one more time and then make sure they're nice and supple. Open. Okay, that's better. Okay. Okay, rub them together for me. I'm gonna blot off the excess. Okay, now I want a more definite, perfect line. So I am going to conceal away the edge of your lip, just because your line's gotten a little bit skewed in how definite it is or is not.
And does it also prevent that feathering?
It does prevent a little bit of feathering, but I'm also going to use pencil and line first, so that helps prevent feathering as well. But this just gives us a clean slate so that when we put the liner on, no discoloration or, you know, it makes it look like an even lip. Now I'm just going to use a nice skin tone color because I don't want them to be overly dramatic. And I'm going to line. I'm going to fill in just slightly. Now, I'm going to use a brighter shade than you were wearing when you came in, because once again, that adds kind of life to the face.
I've been avoiding very bright lipsticks because I didn't want to bring attention to my little chipmunk cheeks. You know, how everything starts sagging down.
Really?
Yes, it does.
Well, actually, but the color you were wearing was making you look drab and was aging you.
Really?
But you'll see this color's not real bright. Like, probably, this is real bright for me, but to you, it probably not going to seem that bright. It might, but, you know, bright's relative. I just wanted it to be colorful versus kind of dead purple. Not that yours was dead purple.
No, it was hardly anything at all, was it?
Oh, Fran, you look 30 now.
Woohoo!
Of course, I'm sure you don't want to go back to 30.
Oh, I don't know. I would in a minute.
And do all that over again?
Yes, I would. I'd do it better this time.
Oh, would you?
Of course.
I heard you did it pretty good last time. That's word on the street.
You can always improve.
And then I'm just going to do the tiniest, tiniest, tiniest bit of gloss. Just a little bit, just because I think shinier is prettier. You don't have to do that every day if you don't want. But I just think lips with a little bit of shine are so nice. Look up for me. And everyone, you can see how this just, look how pretty those lips are.
Great improvement. Thank you. It really is quite a fantastic, you know, to
Yeah.
to learn.
Well, you
some
get
of
so
these-
used to seeing yourself one way. That's how
that
you're
you-
comfortable.
Mhm.
And other people see you differently.
This is a great experience. Thank
Well,
you.
good. See, look how good you look. Wait till you really see yourself. Oh, wait, here. I'll show you. Where's the mirror? You just look fresh.
Great improvement. Thank you.
Okay, so this is what I've done in order for the mature skin. I don't want to accentuate any skin texture. I don't want to accentuate things Fran doesn't want to see. So we used matte shadows. We made her skin really supple and fresh. We kind of brightened her lip a little bit, defined her lip, and accentuated her best features. All right, we're going to take...
And
going to
now I'm a recycled teenager.
now you're a recycled teenager, yeah. Now you're 20. Getting there to 15. Okay, so we're going to go take her hair down and come back and do your after shot. Okay.